You will not be able to stay home, brother. You will not be able to plug in, turn on, and cop out. You will not be able to lose yourself on Skag and skip out for beer during commercials because the revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be brought to you by Xerox in 4 parts without commercial interruptions. The revolution will not show you pictures of Nixon blowing a bugle and leading a charge by John Mitchell, General Abrams, and Spyro Agnew to eat hog maws confiscated from a Harlem sanctuary. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be brought to you by the Schaefer Award Theater and will not star Natalie Woods and Steve McQueen or Bullwinkle and Julia. The revolution will not give your mouth sex appeal. The revolution will not get rid of the nub. The revolution will not make you look 5 pounds thinner because the revolution will not be televised, brother. There will be no pictures of you and Willie Mae pushing that shopping cart down the block on the dead run or trying to slide that color TV into a stolen ambulance. NBC will not be able to predict the winner at 8:32 on report from 29 districts. The revolution will not be televised. There will be no pictures of pigs shooting down brothers on the instant replay. There will be no pictures of pigs shooting down brothers on the instant replay. There will be no pictures of Whitney Young being run out of Harlem on a rail with a brand new process. There will be no slow motion or still life of Roy Wilkins strolling through Watts in a red, black, and green liberation jumpsuit that he has been saving for just the proper occasion. Green Acres, Beverly Hillbillies, and Hooterville Junction will no longer be so damn relevant, and women will not care if Dick finally got down with Jane on Search for Tomorrow, because black people will be in the street looking for a brighter day. The revolution will not be televised. There will be no highlights on the 11 o'clock news and no pictures of Harry armed women liberationists and Jackie Onassis blowing her nose. The theme song will not be written by Jim Webb or Francis Scott Key, nor sung by Glenn Campbell, Tom Jones, Johnny Cash, Engelbert Humperdinck, or The Rare Earth. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be right back after a message about a white tornado, white lightning, or white people. You will not have to worry about a dove in your bedroom, the tiger in your tank, or the giant in your toilet bowl. The revolution will not go better with Coke. The revolution will not fight germs that may cause bad breath. The revolution will put you in the driver's seat. The revolution will not be televised, will not be televised, will not be televised, will not be televised. The revolution will be no rerun, brothers. The revolution will be live.
I'm talking about shout it going crazy. People going crazy in them motherfuckers. Run that shit back, man.
But it means nothing. Nothing. Got a woman on the bed. Man made the car. Carry the heavy load. Man made the electrolyte to take us out of the dark. Man made the boat for the water like the 7 Omega. Man thinks about a little bit of baby girl and a baby boy. Make them happy because man make them dark. But after man make everything we can, do you know that man makes money? To buy from other men. This is a man's world.
Black family greetings. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Shabaka'S Blacc Experience Enhanced. I'm your host, producer, Tanya Crewman, and this is the Black Friday edition of Grand Rising with Shabaka and the Chase. We'll be discussing the historical facts of how white slave owners would purchase young black girls on the auction blocks of the antebellum South for their sons to violate and increase the number of slaves for production for the benefit or for the benefit of the U.S. economy throughout the brutalization of slaves. The U.S. economy benefited greatly from this practice. We will also discuss the breeding farms and the horrors of these sadistic white slave owners who took great pleasure in violating the human rights of black people. The call-in number is 516-418-5996. And press 1 and you'll be live on the air. Please call in with your comments, questions, and concerns. And this is episode 45 of season 9. And this episode is for those that are 18 years of age or older. This episode will also be simulcasted on Streamyard, YouTube, Frontline Black News. And we have a caller, our sister Hatshepsut, is joining us. Greetings, Sister Hatshepsut. Grand Risings, how are you doing?
Grand Rising, yes, I'm doing just fine. Something happening to all my brothers and sisters out there. First of all, what I want to say was that what you said about Black Friday was correct.
Yes.
It is a celebration of the times in slavery when the white man did violate the black woman by selling her and raping her whenever she did not want to. He did whatever he wanted to her because she was a slave. One thing I wanted to let you know is that I've never dated a white man. I've never dated a white man, and I've never married a white man. I don't plan on doing it at all because they're racist, biased, and ridiculous. And I go back and say to my brothers, well, I'm dating this white man because it's that and the other, when him and I have been in this game forever.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? We've been enslaved since we've been here. We're still being enslaved, and I can't turn my back on my brothers and on my sisters and go to some white man out of all things and be with him for the rest of my life and lay up with him when he enslaved me in a past life 450 years ago. Ain't no way in the world that's going to happen. How can you say that you are proud to be black and that you love yourself and you hang up with a white man? Ain't no way in the world I'll do something like that. And they turn around and call me a black beast? Oh, heck no. You know, it's just a disrespect to me, my virtue, and it's a disrespect to the black man.
Right, I agree, sister. Shabaka just chimed in. I think Sarge is on the line too. Is that you, Shabaka? Shabaka. Unknown caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? Shabaka, is that you? Or did you call from? Shabaka? Unknown caller, it's not very nice for you, too. Unknown caller. Alright, other unknown caller, press 1 and you'll be live on the air.
Tell nobody else to call in until I call in, after I call in.
Alright, is that you?
Yeah, Grand Rising.
Okay, that's,
and today is Black Friday.
Yeah.
So we want all you John Burt Society, Donald Duck supporters to call in to get educated. We just say
let it check.
Because
it's gonna echo, let it check.
Because as our listeners and sisters.
Hey, man, can I talk?
Yes, go ahead, let it check.
Hey, I call in before I get back in his charge and Shabaka started arguing about nonsense. So I better get in my thoughts. I am a product of what I like to call the mixture of white and black, fucking mulatto-ness. And if you ever hear me argue with Joe Gibson about this shit, it's always about the white man raping our black African sisters, and I'm being the product of that rape. Okay, and I feel strongly about that. I feel strongly about it because I have to, work hard to show my intelligence with all of our stuff that we go through and all our black plight. I have to work so hard because I'm so fair, and it's not even my fault. It's the fault of white men taking advantage of black women when they had it. They stole us, they raped us, they stole us, they stole us, they raped us, they stole us. How many times, And it just never ended. And how these white women treated the black women in their own damn house. I just wanted to say that. I just wanted to say that because, you know, um, some people like to forget that the mulatto people or the mixed race uh, mixed race FBAs here come from that line too, you know. And they always want to say, well, why don't you embrace your white side? And I never lived like that, so I
Right.
can't embrace it. I never lived like a no white woman. Even if my mother is white, I've never lived like that. Never got no passes. I never felt this, and it's also this other thing too. They call it what do they call it? They call it Jesse light skin privilege. I don't even know what the fuck that means. That sounds stupid as hell to me when somebody says it to me. But it's like I don't get over privileges or access to nothing. So I don't see what people see. But other people do utilize these I don't want to say they're gifts because I think when you take advantage of you take from black people, you're just as guilty as white supremacists. You're like them. So I don't think that you should be using any kind of privileges. Black people were here first. And that's all I gotta say about that. And I think you need to step in line because your skin is fair or your hair is light, and you step in front of a black person when they're there first or above them, then you're just committing another layer of white supremacy and racism. And I don't co-sign that either. So I just wanted to say that I had to get that out my system because it is Black Friday, and at a day that we should never celebrate. We should never, this is another economic day that they use to throw in our face to get us to buy their black ass products and spend our hard earned money that we had to fight and fucking beg for damn near all year long just to buy their whack ass motherfucking products and stay in their whack ass system. All I wanted to say, I apologize, but I had to get out of my system before Sarge and Shabaka got on, or Joe Gibson, or anybody else that had that contention.
No, they don't want not today. They don't. It's because when we put the advertisement together, did you see it, Brother Pass? Where I put the billing or the advertisement for the slave auction. You see what I mean up there? And I want to thank whoever I got that picture from on that. Okay, now today, black folk gonna go out there spend their hard-earned money on this commercialized bullshit. You see what I'm saying? Is because these retail chains, okay, this is the day they're looking for, and the month of December they're looking for, to make up for their lost profits, right? But Black Friday is, and all you white people out there or any other group who don't understand that, you're welcome to call in at 516-418-5996, press 1, and we will be happy to have you on air. Black Friday, that's where they would go up there, and that they would mainly sell the black women, okay, the young girls, okay, 12, 13, 14 years old, and then a white rape and slave trading pedophiles will come up there and purchase these girls, for their sons. You see what I'm saying? So we want to get that there. perfectly clear. And if you ever saw a picture called Band of Angels, it explains just that. If you saw a motion picture called Mandingo, it explains just that.
Shabaka, let me just say this one thing real fast. Just to Hasetsu. I had a moment in life where I thought because of my name or whatever that I wasn't ever going to get a job or whatever. Because as soon as they see me, I applied for jobs on the phone or whatever, and I couldn't get no job. So I had thought if I married a white man and took his last name, that I would be able to maneuver through life, right? And it is wrong. It is so wrong. Like, she is absolutely correct. And I've said this many times on our broadcast that they are the devil. I had put a man through the military. His mama called me N-word hard R in front of my daughter, who looked like she looked like my mother. She had took over my mother's side of the things with fair hair and fair eyes and things like that, light eyes. I have dark features. So it's like I had explained to where it looks like a little white girl what the word, the hard N was, you know what I mean? And why that white lady called her mama, who doesn't look like that, doesn't look like them, that, in this house. And that was hard. And then I lost my daughter because of said white man. So, and then went to jail behind another white man who wanted to put me under the jail just because I wanted to work a regular job. So, you are absolutely correct. I ended up like they provoke a level of violence that comes out of it, like draws you out of your character that you should never have to go to. The second white man, I ended up choking him in front of the behavioral health center, and they locked me up for like a week and a half because I told him, he said one more stupid thing about me not being able to get a job because it was hard, Like I said, I don't get no passes when I go into places. So if I'm just getting a stupid customer service job, it shouldn't have to be so damn hard. But he kept mocking me like my intelligence level. And I got tired and I choked him in his own front seat of his car under a camera, right? So I seen it. I didn't care. And then I went in the building to deal with, because motherfucker does therapy. And I said to him that if he said one more slick thing, I was gonna stab him in the face with a pencil. And I forgot that I had my little baby knife on me because I was carrying it around. I just never know. I was young man, and so they locked me up again, and I was just like, this motherfucker. But every time something happened, it was immediately Brandy Marie did it, and immediately I was getting picked up and thrown in jail. And so I say that to say that she is absolutely correct. I don't recommend, as sisters, I never recommend you divest from our brothers. I recommend these white bitches get off of our brothers and they stop looking at them or being attracted to them, because there isn't really anything attracted to them but the sin and hell. Like, unless you want to go to jail, my brother, I suggest you leave that broad alone. Like, that's it. You're not gonna have the stability that we offer. You're not gonna have a lot of things that we offer. So I suggest that they not look at them. But you are absolutely correct, and I just had to say that before I forgot that you are absolutely right. They are the work of the devil. They jiggle like their goddamn mama, and they don't do right. They don't know nothing about black people. They're racist, and when they get a chance, even if they say they're not racist, they get a chance to hear every black bitch, every black word that you could possibly think of that is bad. You are everything but a child of God. So that's all I had to say. Go ahead.
Thank you. Yes. May I respond, Brother Shabaka?
Yes, ma'am, by all means.
Okay, yes, ma'am. Thank you for saying that. And the reason why I stated that is because I was raised not to practice integration. My grandmother, started with my grandmother, when I used to go to my grandmother's house, she used to teach me when I was a little girl. She said, Shep. She used to call me Shep for short because I have a long name, had Shep said. She said, Chef, when you get older, when you marry, don't you marry no white man because he'll call you a black bee and a nigga. And I was like, yes, ma'am. And see, back then I didn't really know that much about integration because I grew up in an all-black neighborhood. And then my dad, as I got older, I started dating. He said, if you bring anybody in this house, make sure he looks black. I was like, yes, sir.
Right.
And my mom, my origin is Native American and black, so I'm dark complected. My mom was Native American, so I got a gang of hair. My dad was African black, so I got a gang of hair from him from Ethiopia. And so I was picked on a little bit when I was growing up in schools and stuff. And my mom said that the white man was the devil. So when I came into the nation at the age of 17, which is many, many years ago, which I'm giving my age, I'm not that young no more, I fell right in. You know what I'm saying? They are not the people that we should be mixing blood with. It's just, I know a lot of us are mixed. I'm mixed. I'm not mixed white, so I can't really respond to that. But I am mixed, and, you know, everybody wants the black man. And even Sister Ava, before she passed on, may Allah be pleased with her, she did a lecture that when the white man gets tired of his woman, which he does, he comes running for us. You know, same thing with the white man, with the white woman. She gets tired of the white man because he ain't got nothing down there. So she comes running for our man. You see what I'm saying? So, and a lot of times, you know, the black man and the black woman, they fall for it, but not me, you know, and I fight for my virtue and I'll whoop your behind before you can take mine away. That's just the way that I was raised. That's the way I've always been. I've been in the Nation of Islam all my life. So that's how we're taught.
Okay.
Leave them people alone.
Yes, ma'am. Funny you should mention the Nation of Islam. Okay, I remember as a child, okay, let's say a tiny tot, you know, and I never forget in Los Angeles, and I pinpoint the date, May 2nd, 1962. Well, I went and saw this brother speak, and the first thing he says was, who taught you to hate the color of your skin? Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the thickness of your lips? Who taught you to hate the things that God gave you? You say, now, before you go up there and say that this is hatred, then ask yourself, who taught you to hate the things that God has given you? Then I have another memory. I think this dude was heavyweight champ, I forgot his name, who used to come on public television, and he would tell white America about himself, okay? And then sometimes he would use himself as an example, who went to the Rome Olympics, got a gold medal, and we're not going to mention his sport because I think y'all got an idea who I'm talking about. And threw the gold medal off into a river is because when he got the gold medal, he said that he can go sit downtown at the lunch counter. And he was reminded of his place in the American social order. And then when this man became the heavyweight championship, he got a wake-up call again in the city of Las Vegas, Nevada. And he was told twice the same damn thing at both of these lunch counters. We don't serve colored here. Okay.
See, back in them days, brother. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. And then most definitely, when you look at the antebellum South, as Brother Chad stated, you know, months ago, the brutalization, the what do they call it? The sadisticness. You see what I'm saying? Violating our baby girls. You see what I mean? And putting them on these auction blocks at 3 or 4 years old. taken out of their mama and daddy's arms and never to see those babies again. Only God knows what they went through. But then you get these brain dead, ass scratching, Uncle Tim Scott Negroes, and this day and time. Oh, Bob, I didn't you that thing, Bob. And this is supposed to be an educated man. This is supposed to be a college graduate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so once again, the miseducation of the Negro. And also, too, for all our haters out there, pick up this phone right now and call in at 516-418-5996. So today we want to talk to white supremacists and coons, okay? It's because you're going to get educated, okay? And I can't say educated, but I'm halfway somewhat educated, so that's why I use the word educated, okay? And then also, too, for all you integrationalists, we would love to hear from you today, but however, we do understand that you cannot take this truth, that you despise this truth, and then, of course, you know, the phone number is right there for you to call. You can call in, vent, scream, holler, rant, rave, just be respectful, you know what I mean? Then you're going to say, well, what about the Irish? What about the Irish? Yeah, the Irish. Yeah, they were slave traders, too. They were raping our women also. Well, you see, in dirt and servitude, man, get the fuck out of here and kiss my ass. Wasn't no Irish put up there on no auction block. Wasn't no Irish up there beating with whips within an inch of his life. Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot. The Irish were the overseers. Yeah. They're the ones who was doing the actual beating of our folk on them plantations. And they wouldn't help themselves to our babies, too. Yeah. See, this is the stuff that they don't like for us to say. So we taking our callers in today, you know, after you spending all your hard-earned money up there at Walmart and what have you and all that old crap, you know. And, well, we're all the same. Well, you see the Greeks and the Romans, man, go take a flying fuck through a rolling donut. All right. Now, Denzel Washington. Yeah. Denzel, who portrayed Malcolm X. Yeah. Training Day. Yeah. He's in Gladiator 2. Y'all remember the movie Gladiator?
Yeah.
With Russell Crowe talking about the Roman Empire. And he allegedly is supposed to be playing Hannibal, okay, from what I understand. I'm not going to go see it. Okay, the reason being, Mr. Hollywood, okay, and I'm qualified to talk about your stinking ass institution, is because I grew up in your fucking city of Los Angeles and lived there for over 40 years, you see. So, yeah, I'm qualified to talk about you. I saw a clip from the Academy Awards in 1940 when Hattie McDaniel won the Oscar, you know, for being the servant and Gone with the Wind. And when she made that statement that she would be a credit to her race, when they told he was I believe, an envoy to Haiti, Ebenezer the Bassett, I believe. They tell him he will be a credit to his race. They told, I would imagine, Thurgood Marshall that he will be a credit to his race. I don't think they told that there to Adam Clayton Powell. Because, you know, Adam Clayton Powell had emphasized the concept of black power. They kicked him out the U.S. Congress when he had used the term black is beautiful. Okay? So, why did these Hakeem Jeffries, Cory Bookers, Uncle Tim Scott, other brain dead congressmen got up there, this Congressional Black Caucus, who are handpicked puppets to carry out the agenda of white supremacy and blackface. So, you know, they need to disband a damn Congressional Black Caucus. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And then, very interesting, is that I looked at a recap of the O.J. Simpson trial last night. Okay, where they had Marsha Clark up there, old as dirt. Well, you know, Johnny Cochran had passed on. You know, they had his man who took over his firm, Carl Douglas, up there. And then, of course, you had, was Fred Goldman on there? I think. Okay. And white man comes out there, why do you call it folk play the race card? You know, OJ was guilty and all this old type of shit. Okay, well, if you lived in Los Angeles in 1992, okay, and saw what I saw, okay, you might want to retract your statements. So what did they say? When there was a mostly black jury, and there's a book called Madam Foreman, a black woman who was the foreman of the jury, who when Lance Ito, who was the judge, he says, okay, read the verdict. Here, so they had stated in a case in the county of Los Angeles, the People versus Orenthal James Simpson, we find the defendant not guilty of 187A of murder in the first degree, not guilty. So all the Goldmans and white folks, black folks was cheering asses off. Count 2 of the indictment. We find the defendant in the county of Los Angeles of the Kangaroo Superior Court not guilty. So you see OJ relieved, you see what I mean? But once again, he got caught up. You see what I'm saying? And I was sorry to see OJ Simpson go out like that. Why? Behind one of these damn 6 o'clock Barbie doll ass bimbos. Well, if the black man don't screw her, she gonna go run and tell the white man that you raped her. The white man being the police, the sheriff, the judge, her daddy. You know, the white sheep dudes, the Klux Cone heads. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and we is particularly, you know, men folk who are daddies and have husbands and stuff like that. They got daughters and wives and sister-in-laws and little sisters. We're supposed to just to sit up there and watch this stinking ass slave savage sit up there and violate your baby, your daughters. This is why I appreciate Shahrazad Ali, and I think she had said it, is that she had stated, well, you know, here the Native American women, you know, when the white man came here and took your babies and forced their culture on them and gave y'all smallpox, you know, through the blankets, you know, nobody gets upset. When the Jewish people talk about the Holocaust.
Brother, teach on that.
Oh, yeah. And then she says, and don't nobody tell the Jewish woman about what happened to them in the concentration camps and what have you. So why I got to forget about slavery? See? And it's not just slavery. We also look at the glorious past of where we come from. And I would debate with any ass scratcher, any yassa boss, the number to call in is 516-418-5996. Okay, this is Black Friday. You see what I'm saying? You know, well, they got Negroes up there on the auction block. You saw the banner that I put up there for the show last night, Brother Che. Brother Che.
I like to comment when you're ready.
Yes, sir. Because I came across. Okay, hold on, sister. We hear you. Yeah, we're most definitely interested in your comment. Okay, well, I put up there. Well, I put the auction up there for Black Friday. Yeah, see, and I forgot the brother who I got it from. I was up in the night doing it. I forgot the brother who I got it from. Who put it? I think it was Brother Mansa Misa out of Chi-Town. All right. And if you hear his brother, yeah, most definitely thank you for that, And so then they showed you how they got the men folk up there and how they got the girls up there, even got an old ass bastard up there, Shabaka'S age. I think they wanted $200 for him, but everybody else, was $500, $600, $700, you know what I'm saying? And then we haven't heard from Sarge in the last few episodes, so hopefully Sarge.
You remember? We haven't heard from him today.
Yeah, we haven't heard from Sarge today or Friday, and then of course.
That's Friday. Today is Black.
Yeah, and then.
I thought he called in on Tuesday. Oh, he called in on Tuesday?
No, he didn't call in last Tuesday.
He called this Tuesday.
Yeah, Joe Gibson did, but Sarge did.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Oh, okay.
Sarge did. And we do understand, people, the subject matter that we speak of, you might find it distasteful, you know what I mean? And we don't mean to offend you or anything like that. But this is Shabaka'S Blacc experience enhanced. If we deal with the Black experience from the beginning of time, 10 minutes ago, you know what I mean? And then, of course, too, speaking of that, and we're talking about the plantation system. Now, let's look at what Jackie Robinson went through, ladies and gentlemen, in 1947. Okay. He got drafted by the Brooklyn Dodgers, okay. Then how they were tormenting him, make all kind of racial justice toward him in 1947, 1948. What's that? What's that in the background? That grinding we had. Oh, okay. All right. So anyway, and then Jackie Robinson was only 53 years old when he died in 1972. Because I remember on Jet Magazine, where they said that he had passed away and he had complications from diabetes. But he says, I will not stand for the national anthem. I will not salute the American flag, because he says, I know here in 1972, just like I knew back in 1947, just like he knew in 1919 when he wasn't, when he was born, okay, and his family relocated to Pasadena, California, same place where the Rose Bowl is gonna come from, and the Rose Parade, yeah, okay. I never had it made. And then for all of our people out there, well, what about what goes on in the Black community? Don't you know the high crime and all that? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, it was systemically designed this way. Okay, why do you think, you got this imagery out here in Vegas of ratchetness and women going up there looking all, what? Same thing with our men folk, you know what I mean? Got all our men folk feminized and all this old type of stuff, you see? And then want to sit up here and integrate, yeah. And then they sit up there where they're gonna come out here and openly use the NGR term off in the rap industry. And I saw a couple of videos.
I saw this little TikTok video the other day I showed Jesse is on YouTube Shorts or some shit, and I had a comment on it, right? So there's a couple, black couple, right? And there's a brother, he's asleep. The wife comes out with her little makeup kit and shit, right? And she's got a camera and she's over there making this video. The brother's asleep, completely asleep, dark skinned brother, right? Dark as Jesse. And the bride starts putting on makeup on the side of his face, like foundation, blush, does his eyelashes, throw a little gloss on his lips. Right, the whole time she's doing this shit, she's making a video and she's laughing and everybody's like, in the comments, everybody's giving her like, yes, pretty skinny, you did a good job, ooh, ooh. Right? There's like nothing but positive comments about this bride emasculating her own husband on camera, right? And I was like the only asshole, the only one. I don't say I was an asshole. The only one. This is like, I was like, what the fuck you on, sir? Like that. I was like, this. I said, why did you emasculate him? And on camera? I was like, why? I said, what did I say, Jesse? I was like, why did you do that? Or why did you buck break him? I said, why you buck break him on camera? Like, who does that? That's your man, right? Your husband. He's asleep. He's not even conscious. He's like out to the world sleep. And she's over there putting on foundation, like a whole mask of makeup on this brother. And he went from dark skin to Reese's Pieces color, right? And because that's the color she was. She's like, toffee and shit. And I was like, what the fuck is this? I was like, fuck you mean? I was like, am I the only one gonna be on code? To say that this is buck breaking and emasculating? Fuck you mean? Why are you everybody giving her praise? I was like, I don't want no sassy ass dude that wears makeup, and he didn't even know he had. I was like, I said, this video is giving divorce vibes. If I was him, I'd get a divorce. Because she's doing it on camera. She sent it live. Thousands of people seen it, and were giving her like, credit or whatever. But I'm like, how can you stand for this shit? How can any of you that are black in here stand for this shit? Like, this is not okay. Jesse would never let me. First of all, I wouldn't even think about doing it. Jesse would never let me put anything on his face. I can't even touch his face if I want to wipe his face down. Okay? Like, that's just that. So you think that he's gonna let me fucking throw on a little foundation and, tweeze his eyebrows and give him a little mascara and a little lip gloss? Fuck no. You don't want that shit on his face. He don't even let me touch his face when he's sleepy. He just automatically just swiping his face away. And I'd be like, look, I'm trying to read your freckles in case I'm blind and I read them like Braille. I'm trying to be funny and shit. He's not having none of it. None of it. But this dude didn't even know. He was asleep. He had a little do-rag on. He had a little T-shirt on. He got his little blankets. And that's a violation. Isn't that a violation? I was the only one that was mad about this. I just showed Jesse and he was like, Was I the only one mad because in that whole comment list?
Why
is sleeping right here? He is sleeping. I was asleep.
Yeah, I was going to say about that, sis, I agree. In the Holy Quran, God says, why do you come to men with lust in your heart when I created the woman for you? And in the Bible, it says he created Adam and Eve. Not Adam and Steve, Adam and Eve.
Right.
So, and then like today, the messenger was right. Our messenger was right. That's all you see on TV. It's men wearing makeup, wigs, everything, the skirts. And I have to tell you, that's just the commercial. I can imagine what the movies is like. You know what I'm saying? So it's got
And then like with these skinny jeans, that they up there, because I wouldn't bought some pants, some Levi's at that, and I'm gonna quit buying Levi's because of the emblem they have on it, of the two horses trying to tear the Levi's. But that is because they used to quarter slaves, where they would take a brother, tie a horse up to each limb, left hand, right leg, right foot, then have the horses run, and then of course they would rip them apart, you see. So that there's what that symbolizes on that patch right there. Then of course Levi's is headquartered of all places, San Francisco. You know what I'm saying? And so I try to go buy some jeans one day, some Levi's, and I'm looking at the measurements, you know, and I got them right there. And I said, man, what is this bullshit right here? I said, these are skinny jeans, man. So I need to get the money back. Well, you know, this is the fashion. I says, hey, man, I didn't ask you about no fucking fashion. I says, these are skinny jeans, and I need to get my money back, and I don't wear no damn skinny jeans.
Right, and like I can see it. I can see as a man, especially as a brother, for any of y'all to be comfortable, so compressed. I mean, it sounds silly as hell, but I don't see how y'all could be so comfortable, so compressed. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you know, it's just everything's there for. There's no imagination. Like, you know, we look at stuff. You know, you can like a little imagination. You just right there, just so compressed.
Mhm. Yeah.
I get in the studio. Wake up. Check in, Jesse. Jesse's sleeping on the job. I'm telling you.
And I take it that we're the only callers that we got this morning, right?
Yeah. Jesse's not participating.
Okay, all right. No. Okay, no,
I
it's
tell
fine.
everybody.
Yeah, it's okay because, you know, everybody's out there on Friday, bum rushing these stores. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. They should be spending, black people should not be spending no money at none of these goddamn stores on a day like today. Period,
yeah,
man.
exactly.
I mean, you could just wait, you know, and not only that, but we really need to discuss this online shopping thing that we got going on right now. Like, we don't even go outside no more and look at stuff. Everything's conveniently online. Like, I ain't even go front. I'm like one of those Timu type person. I like to shop like a billionaire, right? And I'm scared to save money. So I was there looking at the sorry, sick. I was there looking at Timu right now as we're talking. I'm like, man, but I guarantee you, I will not spend no money today. I'm just looking, but I'm not spending no money. You know what I mean?
No, I'm not going into none of these department stores until Monday. You know, because I have to
my money. None of it.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I'm talking about to get essential stuff. You know, it's because the lines is too long. Out here in Sin City, these people are drunk. You see what I'm saying?
Wake up, Jesse.
And then not only is they drunk, okay, is that they mad, gambling, arguing with it's a mess. You know what I'm saying? And then of course you do know is that they jacking up all the prices here at the hotels and all that old stuff. Well, you know, just do it online. Just go online. There aren't too many hackers out there. I don't recommend you do nothing online. You got too many hackers out there. You see what I'm saying? And I'm going to start, you know, putting them on the spot. You got too many hackers. What you want people's social security numbers and stuff like that for online. You see? And then, of course, I
wanted to make a comment.
That's so true.
Yeah. And then yes, sir.
Oh, yeah, you got to get ready to go. We know.
Oh, okay, sister.
Yeah, and it's a few minutes, but I wanted to make a comment before I left.
Sister, her sister, you have to get ready to go.
Yeah. Go ahead, sister.
Yeah, but I was just going to say, I just wanted to reiterate this because I'm still kind of new on the show, and people need to know a little bit more about me. Now, not to brag or nothing like that, but I just wanted to let people know a little bit about me. My background comes from the origin of Blackfoot Indian. So my mother was full-blooded Blackfoot Indian Native American. My father was half African Latina or Africana Latina, and he was also half Ethiopian Black. And so I speak a lot of different languages because I have a mixture of different Blacks in me. And because of that, I got picked on as a little girl in my white schools that I went to. And it was always a white person who had something to say. You know, because when you're in school and you raise your hand and stuff like that, and you always have the correct answer, the white person always saying, she thinks she out of that because she's Black, you know, stuff like that. And they would say it to my face sometimes. And so I just said that to say this. The white man and woman do not like to see us successful. They always got something to say, and I always got something to say back. So I love my Black man. So how much respect would I show him by being with the white man after all we've been through and after all that? That would just be disrespectful. That was my understanding on the whole Black Friday thing. And then first of all, when a Black man gets accused of anything like what Brother Shabaka was talking about earlier, whether he did it or not, he gets put on display big time.
Right.
And his whole life story that we don't have no business knowing about goes on serious display all over the world, just everywhere. And it's just not fair to him, and it's not fair to us. As Black women to sit up there and watch junk like that, especially when they're lied about. So I just wanted to lay it out there. I don't have to leave just yet, but I just wanted to lay it out there. That is important that I get that across.
Yes, ma'am. They always lie about us. You see what I'm saying? And then just like I said, when you look at that bullshit with the O.J. Simpson case, okay. Oh, O.J. was guilty. He was jealous over that dope Nicole and all this old type of stuff, okay. But look about what this white boy did to this brother on the subway there in New York and murdered that man. And then Sarge had the audacity to get up there and to say, well, you know, he was a threat to all the passengers, you know, on the New York subway. The dude is only 5 feet 6. The cat didn't weigh no more than 130 pounds. Plus, the man was emaciated because he hadn't eaten, and he, you know, was dehydrated. And then, of course, if anybody's ever been on the Eastern Seaboard in the summer months, you see what I'm saying? It is extremely humid there. It will rain hard, you know, with a temperature of 98 degrees, and that's hot and muggy. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wonder why I stay out here in this desert. You see?
I'll say this, Shabaka. So, I had a similar situation. With everywhere I go, you know, my brother said it's not because I'm racially ambiguous. He said it's just because I'm different. And I was like, am I echoing?
Yeah.
Am I echoing?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Hold on, let me make sure. Okay. It sounds weird because it sounds like an echoing. I went to, when I was a little girl, I was really bad. I was in the system. I grew up in the system. Ward of the state, okay? And I got in a lot of trouble. I was always in and out of juvie and shit. And well, then I got enough trouble. They said it's juvie until I'm 18, and then it's the big house or it's gonna be Job Corps. And I said, all right, I'll take the Job Corps. I was only like 16, right? Job Corps offered a lot of benefits. I thought, I was kind of looking forward to it. My mother, they found my mama out of nowhere, and she signed the papers for me to go to Job Corps. They picked the all Native American Job Corps in Montana. I went out there. I was there for like 1 month, every day of that fucking time, from the time I got off the plane and the time I got off the bus at the facility. Them girls beat the shit out of me for 30 fucking days straight. They said I didn't look like them. I wasn't like them. I didn't belong there. My mama told me before I left to tell them I was Lakota Sioux. That had Lakota Sioux blood, right? I don't know. That's what I said, because I was like, whatever. That's a shoulder shrug. You know what I mean? I just got on the plane and went to Montana, you know? when I got there, I was like, these big, manly, like, solid built broads were like, just took little old me and tossed me around. I was like, they said, your hair ain't like ours. I was like, I had fair, clear skin, real pretty, you know, and really, really curly hair, naturally curly hair. And I was like, they were like, you don't look like us. And I'm like, thank God I don't look like you. First off, I'm really only like, that time I was like barely 5 foot, you know what I mean? And I was like, kind of looking like a woman, really. I had nice clear skin, you know. I didn't really wear makeup. I had pretty long curly hair, you know what I mean? So I was like, you know, I was like, what? These broads is all picked at, and they're really heavy-handed, solid built, like these broads. If I had to describe what these broads are, they're like the size of Jessie when I was little. 16 to me is still a little girl, you know. And these are like solid. Like if I see Jesse now, solid built like that. He's like what? Hey, like 5 foot, 5 something. Like almost 6 foot. And how much you weigh? Like what? Almost 200 pounds. He's at 170, 180. Let me tell it. He weighs almost 200
Jesse's 6 feet, tipping the scale at about 180.
Well, 180, yeah.
Between 170 to 180.
You see, you know what I'm talking about. So can you imagine a 6 foot tall girl at 180 trying to fuck with a 4'8", 150 pound girl? You know, with the, can you imagine? That's what it was like. Okay, for me. And every day they were like, you're not like us. You're not like us. And I was like, I don't know what the fuck that means. They was like, they called me the N-word, or they called me a spit. Right? So you're either one. You're either Mexican or black. If you're not Indian. And I was like, oh, okay, whatever, man. Like, so I was like, this is obviously some weird ass jealousy going on, because these bitches look like, you know, like old dried up and shit. And I'm pretty. This has got to be some jealousy going on. I just go mind my own business. And that's what I did.
Well, Lady Tay, like I told you, the first time I crossed Montana, right? And I was speaking with this Native American woman, and we spoke for about 2 hours. And her question was, well, why in God's name did your people help the white man against mine? Okay, so she got educated. And I said, it's because the slave only knew what master taught him. I says, this is why I cannot stand and despise a fucking Yasa boss, okay? Because the Yasa boss in this day and age is doing this crap willingly. You see what I'm saying? But imagine how it was back then in 1865, you see? And
yeah, but they act like it was just us. Like I think everybody got their facts all incorrect. We didn't help them. They didn't help us. You know, and all of that. But they didn't help the white man. Nobody is the white man colonizing.
Yeah,
you know
and
we're victims of all colonization.
Yeah, colonizing and polarizing. Okay, now this is why in the southern United States, okay, that I've went through the,
Brother Al explained this Native American situation I was going through. He explained it to me in a way I could finally understand, because that caused me a lot of trauma.
Okay, well,
because it not only have I deal with the mulatto shit, but I have to deal with not knowing, because I have
you still qualify for the auction block, Lady Che.
Oh, absolutely.
You still qualify for the auction block. You see what I mean? And then being a diasporic African, you see, is that I had, studied a lot of this stuff. And the first book to read, that I recommend to anybody to get a clear understanding on it is to read a book called Autobiography of Malcolm X. You see?
Yeah, very good book.
Yeah. That's the first place to start because he was a light-skinned brother, and as we all know, they used to call him Detroit Red.
Okay, Sister, we see you. Thank you for coming on.
I'm not ready to go yet, ma'am. What do you?
Jesse said. Jesse is over there saying you gotta go. You said it's conscientious of the crime.
Not yet. I'll let you know when I'm ready to go, ma'am. Thank you. Go ahead, brother.
And then too, and X-Man was heavy on that. Okay, and then of course we're not gonna talk about the former heavyweight champion, the greatest heavyweight boxing champion of all time, that in his autobiography, he's mentioned that there too. And this is why I have the position of the raping, slave trading pedophile. Why? Because that's what they were.
That's what they were. That's what they are.
And then, now, the way...
They're still doing pedophilia.
Yeah, and then this is why when you look at this Hollywood crap, you see, they play a lot on that there too. You see, look at some of them films from old Black Hollywood or Black Hollywood, they call it, where they show all the dances of Tab Calloway.
Me and Jesse were talking about this one day. I was like asking Jesse, I said, what do you think their fucking appeal is? It's so nasty to look at a child. Like, I mean, I'm a grown woman now. I'm 44 years old. So I remember when I was just 16, 18. When I was 18, I had my first child, right? And I was like, I was still a little girl. You know what I mean? In my mind, I've always been like a little adult since my mama left. But in my mind, I would have thought, as a grown man, 30-something, 30, 40 years old, me and my brother talk about this all the time, that you've seen anybody that's 5 years or wait, like, like you're 35 and they're in their 20s or early 20s. That's still young. That's still too young for you. You know what I mean? And it's not because I'm being a hater, but it's just like when there's men that look at little girls and little boys. You know what I mean? And their mind is on perversion. It's like,
no, them is pedophile.
That's a pedophile. And I was like, what is the allure of a youth to these grown ass perverts, males and females? Because there's females that it's not a rip to be a high school student and your teacher is pressing up on you and getting adult feelings and try to get you to, do nasty things with her. Even though, boys might think that's a good thing and girls, think that's the way to an easy grade. But it isn't. It's not a rip. But what causes that person to reach that level of nastiness in their brain and their heart that they go to such extent that they don't care about the law, they don't care about the rules? My brother was telling me in your state, Shabaka, that the age of consent is a certain level. And I was like, that's still in my mind. I was like, that's still a little girl. My brother said like 16 is the age of consent there, right? And I was like, that's a little girl.
Well, see, Lady Che, that there's the American ethos. You see what I'm saying? That there's the American ethos with that, and what an ethos is a group psychology. You see?
Yeah, but I was like, we didn't pick that. That's not our. We didn't pick that standard, right?
No, but see, it was forced upon us and through these public indoctrination centers called public schools. Okay, like the first thing when you go to public school, what's the first thing they teach the little kid? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. You see?
Is it wrong that we don't stand for that? Like, I was worried. Like, is it going to be bad? Is it going to be a sign of bad faith when you get approved for office? and you don't stand for the Pledge of Allegiance or any of that shit. Like, because none of this shit we should really believe in. Like, all of this is off the backs of slaves. You know what I mean? So, like,
yeah,
why the fuck?
Well, see, this is why, and we had individuals calling to our platform, and this is why we created the hashtag resurrection of the mental dead.
Those words, don't be ashamed.
Huh?
No, not really. Jesse was reminding me that there's verses that actually refer to the whole slavery that we don't even think. And I was like,
actually, okay, when that racist Scott Key wrote that song, there was a verse in there that took out of it that said "death to the slaves" in it. Yeah. Say, but they don't tell you that part, and that's why when I looked at football yesterday, you see what I'm saying, and I said, why is it? Because it was the game before they played, who was it? Was it Detroit and Chicago, I think? Well, anyway, they show a Negro up there, a good saxophoner, by the way, playing, what's the name of that raggedy-ass song? Yeah, the Star Spangled Banner, right? But why is it that at every fucking Super Bowl, every NBA championship, right, every Major League fucking baseball game the world sees, why do they always got a black person up there singing that bullshit? Somebody please enlighten me. Please help, for I am ignorant. They always got a black person sitting up there with that buck-breaking, ass-scratching, yassa-bossing bullshit. You the Bob,
Shabaka. I can answer this question right here, because black people are the only ones that can sing. That's it. That's all.
Well, you got a point on that. But what I'm just saying though is that I'd much rather that they get the exonerary Cyclops of the Ku Klux Klan to sing it. Get Donald Trump to sing it. You see what I'm saying? Why? Because you're stating of how you honestly feel. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. You see? And I mean that every major event okay, folks, I'm going to put myself on self-me for a second. I got to go in here to the store. Ooh, it's cold out here this morning. And, well, it got snow on the mountains out here, folks. Yeah, so it's about 42 degrees.
I wanted to make a comment.
Yes, ma'am.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Brother Shabaka, but in the 1960s, around the 1960s or 70s, correct me if that's the incorrect date, the white people came out with a statistic that they said was correct, a scientific statistic that black people are basically dumb. And that white people had a bigger brain than black people, and that Asians had the biggest brain of them all.
Right.
And so this is a lie, because later on it came out to where it was like a scientific lie, or what do you call it? A hypothesis lie. And so then it came out to the truth when the messenger came out. He taught about this, about the white man and the wisdom of the black man, and that they had been created during slavery. So to their culture, that we may have looked dumb because we didn't know a lot about English and stuff like that in their culture, but we knew a lot about ours. And and there was a lesson that he gave to us in Lost Psalm Muslim lesson number 2 in our Supreme Wisdom book, and I'll recite it. It's called "Tell us its own physical power of a real devil." And the answer is mental power of a real devil is nothing in comparison with the original man. He only has 6 ounces of brain. So that was incorrect when he said that the Asians had the bigger brain, he had the second, and we had the least. He only has 6 ounces of brain, while the original man has 7.5 ounces of brain, which are original. The devil has 6 ounces of brain. They are grafted brains. So this is scientifically proven because I took anthropology in college, and they even admitted it. The devil's physical power is less than 1/3 that of the original man. That's why he can't dance, because he's weak. The devil is weak bone, weak blood because he is grafted from the original. Therefore, his mental and physical power is much.
What they said, he was 1/3 of the brain.
Yeah, 1/3 that of the original man. The devil's physical power is less than 1/3 that of the original man. Have you ever seen a white man try to dance?
Oh, yeah, it's disgusting.
Yeah, they can't dance because they're physically unable to move like the black man. Their physical power is 1/3 that of the original man. They can't walk right. They can't run right. They don't do nothing right physically because they don't have that power.
They got no soul.
They got no soul.
And then I got to put myself on self-mute for a few minutes after I say this. Okay, pull up them old black films of Hollywood of the dancers like the Fayard, Nicholas brothers. And in that same era of time that you had the Nicholas brothers, you had Fred Astaire, and watch them both dance and get back with me on that and see who would move better.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, so I'm putting myself on self-mute. I'll just be off for a few seconds. Okay. All right. Okay.
They had to put steps on the ground and they still couldn't dance.
Show couldn't. And then they try to get involved. Nowadays, they're trying to get involved in the African dance. And they look a hot mess. That's because they're 1/3 that of the original. They have no originality in them. They're not original. They just not.
It does. Okay. No, they're not.
Yeah. So I just wanted to make that clear because in school I heard that a lot, that black people were dumb and their brains were smaller. Asians were smarter because their brains was bigger. No, they just gave them the books first. That's why they make them tutors first. And they tutoring us rather than the other way around. And the white people was just giving everything because they had money. So it had nothing to do with their brains. It had something to do with the fact that they're smaller brains and they're stupid when it comes to our wisdom. But to their wisdom, they knew everything because their culture was based off of stupidity. So that's why to everybody it was like, oh, they just know everything. They don't know everything. They just give them the books first because they have money and they're white. And they're given more privileges in life.
Yeah.
I mean, this is based off of facts and truth. And and white people are admitting it today. And today, even in my schools, they were saying that, we were originated from black people and we came from the black home. And even a scientist came out and said, a biologist came out and said that the first woman in life was a black woman. That we were here first. They said, and it was like, yeah, we came from them. I ain't gonna lie. We weren't here before them. We came after them.
Yeah, we've been here.
Yeah, we've been here like billions. And they only been here for 6,000 years. They also want to rule somebody.
From Yahoo.
Yeah, sure did. You've been listening. Go ahead, brother. I'm Yahoo.
Oh, yeah, I've been listening. The big brain black scientist, he grafted them mugs.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So what is Shabaka doing? He's in the store right now. That's what he said. Okay.
Yeah, he's probably getting some coffee.
Get my coffee up.
I don't want it. It's stay for me. I don't want it. Stay for me. That's it. Nothing good comes from a white man. And I don't care what anybody thinks about me. I like to be on this black nationalist tip. I like to be a separatist. Oh, you say it for me.
They can hear you.
Hear you very well, ma'am. Go ahead.
Yeah, say it for me.
Lady Chase says she likes to be a black separatist and a black nationalist.
Because I don't want to ever know.
That's good. That's good because separatism away from them creates more peace.
Feels like. I've never felt it. I don't want to know what it feels like. I don't want to ever see it. I don't subscribe to I'm white, I say so. I'm like, nah, you know, it's 2024, and I'm black and I say so. You know, and you can't tell us nothing else. I love the fact that these white women are crying that they need us to hold their hands. I love that. I love the fact that they went on strike on a non they're not giving us the I love that. That means black people, black men are going to be right back home. We can go too far. Well, we just together. I got to shoot that yet. But and I've never been in the realm of breaking up homes or nothing. So I like to do that. But for the single people, it is a lovely time to find your black soulmate. It is a beautiful time. You know, go get you one. Go get your boyfriend back. Go get your husband back. Fuck their brothers. They're changing their head. They act stupid. They're being complete weirdos. So let all these little plays go on and spaz out and change their head, put masks on, talk about they're gonna have matching bracelets, they close in the private part door. So it's good if you close that old cold shack up. You know what I mean? It's cozy like a sister anyway, so just go ahead and close it up. And we all to the good. We're going to go ahead and welcome the brothers back. They act like they just lost their mind for a quick second, and everything will be all to the good. It's back to building as we should be good. You know, I love the fact that we can, right now, we're in a good state where we are just thinking about NBA, NBA activities. You know, that's Native Black American activities, foundational Black American activities. You know, where we are just thinking about us, and good for us, and building up our own economics and putting in our own initiatives, you know, and amendments and whatever to get things that we need done. Because it has been high tide for that. And the brothers are feeling it, man. Like, there's this little quiet unity that's happening. I get upset when I get off the podcast once in a while, this one podcast, and the sisters over there be so disrespectful, brothers too, but they always talk about, one sister always talk about she want to divest to anything but a brother. And I was like, I can't go along with that picture. You know what I mean? Because why? I don't know what my life would be like if this was there. You know, like, or at least
right.
Yeah. So I took a solid years. I put my eyes on him. You know, I can't think of another individual. I'm not saying meaning to repeat every time. But you know what I mean? So like, I was like, looking at these things, you don't care what my name is. You know, don't think of me like that. Really. That, you know what I mean?
Yes, ma'am.
So, my or anything like that. I appreciate good-looking people, though. And I'm confident, you know, like an actor on the street of like, that's a really pretty sister. That's a handsome brother. But that's about it. That's about all. You know, I don't ever think about anybody in any other manner because when you see your soulmate, that's your soulmate. So think about other people.
Oh, now I can't hear you, sis.
My eyes don't wander, and my mind doesn't think about other people.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. running the studio, 2 different studios. Yeah.
Here's why. Jesse's my soulmate. So we've been together for 5 years. I can never see diversity to somebody else. First of all, I've already had a really poor experience several times with
I'm back.
children's race. Okay, good. So I'm good with that, right? But
Yes, ma'am.
5 years, and I so wonder. I don't think about other men. I appreciate good-looking people. I think people are, sometimes you just have to say it. Sometimes you're like, man, that is a pretty sister. That's a man. But that's about as far as it goes, because I respect people, and even like with Jesse and I were friends. I never disrespected him in any manner to, allude to anything. I respected our friendship, and I never, what do you call it? I never threw myself at him, where, he didn't do that either. That's just, as a race, we're usually pretty, respectful of each other, We don't really be, kind of goose on.
Yeah, because you're Black and beautiful, and you're proud that you're Black and beautiful, and you're not going to let anyone else tell you different. I'm the same way, and we should be proud in 2025 to be Black and beautiful, and to love the fact that we are not of the devil, we are of the righteous generation, the ones who originated from Kemet and so on and so forth, and we are here to help bring out God's plan. Not the devil's plan, but God's plan. So we're gonna ignore what the devil is doing and only focus on God's plan, because that's the most important plan of them all. And in the meantime, there's nothing wrong with recognizing our beauty. There's nothing wrong with knowing that we're Black and beautiful, as long as we don't integrate with the devil, because then that's going backwards and that's going against God's plan and what He wants for us.
I argue with those sisters all the time. I'm like, especially as well, I'm like, why would you want to divest? Because we had the migrant crisis, right? The life flux of migrants. She's like, I want a husband, they want a wife. And I'm like, are you serious? This is just another level of being used. I was like, I said, she's like, Black men this, Black men that, and you hear Black men say Black women this, Black women that. I said, look, man, we just got some issues to work through, but it doesn't mean that by 2025, 2026, we're not going to be good with each other. That's by design. That's by design. That's a white man fucking with you, telling you that white women telling Black women that Black women shouldn't have a man. You know, that's why the men are locked up and they don't have no man in the house. That's white women. That's a devil plan. And I was like,
look at Serena Williams.
Look
at Serena Williams of how twisted that she is, and then coming up there out the mean streets of Compton. You see what I'm saying? And she's twisted. You see?
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm talking about she's straight twisted. You know what I'm saying? And then once again, though, and we all saw the movie The Imitation of Life, you see what I'm saying? And that's a movie that's gonna make you cry. You see what I mean? And that movie is over 60 years old, and it's just very, very sad that shit has happened.
With all due respect, is that movie where the little girl says, "Why are you my mother?"
Right.
The mother's and she's like real fair, like white. She's white passy.
And then what it is that the first time I saw it, let me see, it'll make you sad. You know, it'll make you sad. And then if you see that movie and if you don't feel some type of certain way behind that, Dr. Marimba, he calls about the Ma'apa disaster so bad it's beyond description. That's a classic case of it right there.
Mm-hmm. Listen,
Yeah,
like my mother is white, right? My mother's white, and I knew my mother was racist when I would go. I have I call her my sister. She used to live right down the block, down the street from me, and she was from Louisiana. Her parents lived right down the street, and I would go to her house, and our dad would let me stay over because my parents were abusive. My father was abusive, right? And so I like, because I have really, really good hair. So she likes to, play in it and do little curls and braids and twists. And I used to be like the little hair model because I thought we were going to be, I thought I was going to be carrying her, but she was going to be doing hair modeling. You know what I mean? I thought that was the goal, right? We had goals when we was little. And if that didn't work, we were going to be lawyers. So this was our best friend. So we was over there, little, probably like maybe 9, 10, and she put she put about like 16 twists in, right? And I had a little bobbles there, little barrettes and stuff and everything in it. And I just was and came back home with doing my little hair, playing around with my brother. And my mother said, she said, I can't even say what she said out loud. So I said no. She told me to take them out. I said no. She said take them out. I said no. I said Keisha worked hard on them. I said I'm not taking them out. I said it'll be upsetting. She said take them out. I can't say what she said. And then I literally cannot say what she said. It's too much. And then she grabbed a pair of scissors and cut half of them off. Right? Mm-hmm. And so my father came home. My father was like devastated. Like I read that. He was yelling and shit. He was like, why you cut her hair? You cut her hair. You should cut her hair. He said what you said again. He was like, then he had to take me and have it all cut off because she cut it all off uneven. She was like randomly picked, when you got like box braids and box twisted, she picked random ones to cut off so they were all uneven. You know what I mean? Like she was just good ass and shit. And my hair would cut down like real short, like a board. And you tell you, like, I don't think I ever seen my father get so upset or like almost like he wanted
90 seconds.
It was like that day. You know what I mean? So I knew that she was racist. But to tell you that I had tried my whole fucking life to make that white woman like me. And she never liked me. And she still don't like me. And in fact lies on me. It doesn't even talk to me now. It is like the confusion, right? So when
60 seconds
we were at war and I had to pick a side because of the mixture, it was not even a less than 2-minute fucking decision. It was like 20 seconds or less. I was like, well, I picked this side. And that's just that, because that lady, not only do I not know how to live like them, but I was never welcome or wanted by them. Even if I came through the vessel. Mm-hmm. Like, it don't even make any sense to me when I have these little arguments because, like, I was talking about that vessel with this chick, and I was like, don't you miss the warmth of a brother? She said, what you know about it? I said, I know a lot about it, but won't you miss
10
that?
seconds.
Well, the only thing I can say, in regard to that, all this shit here is all part of the American ethos, which is group psychology. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then also too, they always want us to emphasize, this self-hatred. And then these damn tethers, to quote Brother Che. Tethers.
I want to be thinking that sisters that want to divest. I want to be thinking there's some tethers too. I want to be calling those others, but that's some tether activity right there. I like real shit, because I think that when you want to leave our American brothers here, like our NBA brothers, because there's a lot of Aboriginal brothers out here that are just native black, native black Indian brothers here, like Jesse. I think that's Native American. What is it? Same tribe, right? You got the same tribe, same Blackfoot tribe. Right. So, I mean, why would you want to? Like, why would you want to? You know, I don't understand these. I told it just like that. I said, I don't understand these brides these days. Y'all some doing some new shit, man. I was like, I would never want to go back to something that was not only want to put me under the jail, hurt me, or harm me physically, burn me with cigarettes, cut my hair off, or beat me, or anything like that. I would never want that. I would never want to go back to that. I was like, I would like to hold hands with somebody that's warm and loving and kind and can help old people, have good spirit about them. I said, you talking about soulless beings. They have no soul. They empty inside. You can see when the devil switch over. It's like it's so hard. They have no feelings. They don't know how to cry. They definitely don't know how to cry. Like me and Jesse have seen many times with white women, and they make the face and they make the noises of tears, but they don't cry. I watch so many shows. I'm like, look, Jesse, that white bitch ain't crying at all. She wants you to believe it though. And then those whiny little marks is what caused us to say white tears matter, because then they get their shit passed as in legislation. You know.
Well, funny you should say that, because when they first
we're the only ones that feel pain and agony when black people cry. Have you noticed that? Like, if you see a mother or a sister crying because something happened, whether it be joy or a birth of a baby or the death of a loved one, we're the only ones that feel it. We're the ones that, man, what happened? You know what I mean? Because I don't know what it is about us, but we can't stand to see our own people cry. We can't stand to see our own people cry. When we look at white people cry, we're like, man, that bitch lying.
No, you're talking about the Karen syndrome. Yeah, you're talking about the Karen syndrome. You know what I'm saying? Just like with old Barbecue Becky up there in Oakland. What was that, about 7 or 8 years ago? And then the cold part about it is up there in Panther Town over there by Lake Merritt, you know, black folks was out there barbecuing. She's saying, well, you know, the law says that you can barbecue and all that. And plus that, Brother Che, didn't you see that video I did from there when I went up there to the city of Oakland park rules? And it didn't say nothing about that you cannot barbecue out there. So what had happened was, is that the black community went out there and everybody put up their barbecue pits, and they told Barbecue Becky to bring her stinking ass up there, and they was gonna smash her ass. And the cold part about it is, see, that's one thing about living up there in Panther Town, you know, is that when there's an old ancient African proverb, listen to the wind and hear the stories of long ago. You see what I mean? And then the black community came out there, you know, for like about a couple of years, because then I think I did a couple of live feeds from there, Brother Paris, where all the black businesses were out there and all that old type of stuff. So then Oakland politics being corrupt and morally bankrupt as it is, like Chicago, Los Angeles, New York, you know, oh, well, you know, they shutting all the businesses down because ain't nobody got no business licenses out there. And then when the people used to park along the side of the park on Lakeshore, then they said you can only park there for 2 hours, you know, 7 days a week. You see what I mean? And it was really very, very sad, is because it was emphasizing the power of black commerce. You see what I mean? So then, of course, you know, they wanted to throw a monkey wrench in and say, just like with the Black Wall Street, just like there in Chicago, they didn't want black businesses happening. Detroit, St. Louis, Cleveland, Ohio, even Denver, Colorado. You see what I mean? because I think they used to refer to Denver as the Harlem of the West, and they used to do that there with Oakland, California as well too. Is because over in Boys Town, San Francisco, you know, you had a lot of the jazz artists who used to come and play through there in the 1950s and 60s, and they were all over Hunters Point, the Fillmore District, and what have you. And even Frederick Douglass had lived in San Francisco. Okay, but the sad part about it is like with the Renaissance, that you had them in the Black Renaissance in the Bay Area. Then you had it in Chicago. You also had it in New York City as well too. And one thing, though, the biggest damn mistake that has ever happened to the Black students is going to these public indoctrination centers called public schools. So this is why when we sit up here and argue with Sarge, Joe Gibson, you know, those jokers, you know what I'm saying, we try to explain to them why you got this high rate of black on black crime, right? Okay, it starts in the public indoctrination centers. You see what I mean? Because they always are putting Black boys in detention. So basically what they're doing, what's the sister's name, man, that wrote the book or the school to prison pipeline, I think, Brother Che? I believe, isn't her name not Erica Alexander, because she's a movie actress and a movie director, but I forgot her name. And this is why we got to get our children up out of there. You see what I'm saying? And this is why I appreciate the Nation of Islam of them having their own schools for that. You see what I mean? You know, and then the Black Panther Party, they had did something similar to that, where they would, you know, had the tutoring programs, you know, the breakfast programs and stuff like that. But keep in mind, nobody was turned away from free breakfast. You know what I'm saying? They fed everybody. They fed everybody, all the children in the community. And then you had your boy, old John Edgar Hoover, you know, I don't know, well, this is a threat to the national security and all that.
You know, on that school lunch thing, you know, we have that always appears on the ballot, right? And they always talk about they need funding for this and they need funding for that. Mm-hmm. But if you listen to right after the elections, and that should have passed, right? Because, you know, everybody want to feed the kids and they want the kids to eat and whatnot, right?
Oh yeah.
But the kids ain't eating.
No, but see, but what?
You know, they still got paid. They still got to pay, and they get bills at the end of the year for money they owe for meals or whatever. I said, what the fuck are all these taxes going to? And it's lies. Like I started voting for that this year because not that I don't want to feed no children. That's not it. That's not it at all. It's that I want the money to actually go to where it's supposed to go. I don't want
that's what you would have an audit for.
Yeah, I don't want it to be like
an audit for.
And they're lying. They're not feeding their children. They're not fixing their schools. And that free lunch number becomes your DOC number. Thank you, Jesse. You end up going to prison or something. Like that's just ridiculous. I don't have children right now that are like school age, so I would want my child to be at home and getting the education that I can provide him. I mean, I know I keep my kid out of
the homeschooling program, and to prove your point even further.
Eat. You know what I mean? I don't want to not give no. I don't want anybody's kid to go hungry, but I don't want to participate in a program in a job that's taking taxes out.
Yeah, right.
Feed children that aren't feeding children, or allegedly fixing air conditioners and heaters when they don't fix air conditioners and heaters. I mean, I'm in a place right now currently that don't got no heaters.
well, in that winter that you guys have back then, Denver, Colorado, and Colorado as a whole, you all need some heaters because it's 46 degrees out here this morning. And I know you guys.
It just broke. My brother's like, God damn, man. I was like, I made it 5 years as a baby eater. Yeah, it was pretty low last night, and the night before it was pretty low. And I was like, I don't think I could go because it might be too cold for me to go. But it was like, I was like, dude, if a motherfucker needs anything right now, it's gonna be needing the heater. So I was like, but at the school though, I mean, they just decided to close down several schools in Denver. I'm like, what do we just put all this tax money towards? You feel what I'm saying?
Well, see, once again, Lady J, not cutting your wisdom, ma'am, is that's why they need to be audited with all that money. Because when I look at these dumpsters as in human shit, and I want to make that perfectly clear, by the way, these crooks, you know what I'm saying? They got these super PACs, political action committees, and all this old type of stuff. You see what I'm saying? They're not being held accounted for. You know what I mean? And then old Cop Mala. Well, I'm not going to do anything just for black people. No. And her raggedy ass still lost. You see what I'm saying?
She's in Hawaii.
And then
She's on vacation in Hawaii right now.
Probably ghetto gagging somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
God is in Hawaii. I've been asking these questions, and it was I learned it on the Jesse James Jr. What was his name? Jesse Jackson Jr. Podcast where Jesse was showing it, and you said she was in Florida on vacation after the election. Oh, not Florida. I'm sorry. Hawaii. Just equally as bad. Hawaii.
And then
on vacation. Too, well, the whole world is looking for her.
Yeah.
Are you serious? Like.
No, that's about right. You know what I'm saying? That's about right. It's because she lost the election, and me personally, I think she was handpicked to lose. You see what I'm saying? Is because, you know, the dump, as in human shit. If you thought his first regime is bad, wait till you get a load of this next one, okay? And what's going to happen is, unless we come together as a people and get rid of this confusion and this all-inclusive shit, okay, we are doomed to our own self-destruction. No, seriously. You know, they are out to kill us, okay? They want all our men to be effeminized.
Shabaka, we need to wrap this up. We didn't even get to the breeding farms.
Oh, yeah, let's get to the breeding farms. Yeah. And then also, too, as we all know, this is where the term MF comes from. Yes, is because on the breeding farms, you know, they did that very systemically. And also, too, Brother Chair, I got notes here over the years we've been doing this, is that they would blindfold the men folk with that. And in some cases, they even try to breed slaves, you know, with the sons and their mamas. You see what I'm saying?
That's where you get motherfucker from.
Yeah, exactly. You see, because my mother explained that there to me because she overheard me use the term when I was younger, and after absorbing the left hook followed by the right hand, she explained it to me what it meant. You see what I mean? And then, of course, you know, Hollywood, the American social order, you know what I'm saying? Let me see. Clowns like Eric Adams, Yasser Boss there.
Nasheed for the documentaries, Hidden Colors. That's all of this.
They did. Yeah.
Documentaries.
Yeah. You see what I mean? And they don't want us to recognize or realize that. You see what I mean? And what it is that I've seen it on Cartoon News Network, other mainstream media, you know, when they would sit up there and they would talk about the reparations issues.
The breeding farms they were in the Northeast, like Maryland, Virginia.
In the Caribbean even.
Parts of Pennsylvania and New York, they had breeding farms.
Right, and then of course, as we all know, the only difference between an Afro-Cuban, an Afro-American, an Afro-Mexican, and Afro-Colombian, it was a boat stop. That's the only difference.
That's the thing, but there is a difference. No, because that's not even true, Shabaka. Because we had an ethnogenesis. No, that's not the only difference. We had an ethnogenesis.
Oh, we had a what?
An ethnogenesis.
Okay, explain that to me, sir.
We became our own distinct group wherever we were off at. So all the same, it's not just a boat stop that separates us. It's called ethnogenesis.
Okay. Please define ethnogenesis.
Is a process in which an ethnic group is formed and developed. Ethnogenesis. So we're not the same. That's why we're delineating, Shabaka. We're not all just one big African. We're not all just Africans. We had an ethnogenesis. Here in history, we aggregated with the Black indigenous people that were already here. With the slaves that were brought over from Africa.
Okay, well, this is why, off of, let me see, the 70s, the 80s, let me see, and even the early 90s, when the O.J. Simpson case had went down, they started taking away from that there too, is because over the course of my lifetime, I'll come across brothers from the continent and I'll talk to them. I'll ask them questions. They'll ask me questions. You know what I mean? And then I noticed that OTBs, but I always would try to butt into the conversation. And, then, like when you try to be respectful and says, okay, well, hey, man, I'm talking to this brother right here. And then the white fella, he'll get full of that joy juice, you know what I'm saying, or that alcohol. Well, I think, well, man, ain't nobody asking your drunk ass what you thinking, okay? Why don't you just sit there and shut the fuck up and your stupid ass might learn something, And then it was interesting, and particularly speaking to those from the eastern region of Africa, which is Ethiopia, let me see, Eritrea, which split off from Ethiopia, Kenya,
Sudan.
Okay, well, the Sudan. Now, let me tell you something about the Sudan.
We got people running around here, but like Myron Gaines, otherwise Amro Fruity, that's talking about Black Americans like we're dogs in the street. And this dude can't even fix his damn homeland, and he coming over here to eat us. So, like I said, there can't be Pan-Africanism when you got that type of shit going on.
Right. Well, see, keep in mind, Brother Check, is that based off the information that you're giving me, man, the more and more that I think about it, and we're going to do a show on that too, is about how they deliberately had shattered the Pan-African movement because, as you said, they fear of us becoming, as you put it, one big nigga.
It's always one big nigga, but we're not all one big nigga. We are our own distinct ethnic groups within that umbrella of blackness.
And then, two, is that they I hate to say, they make great progress with us being divided within, but it's designed this way, the educational system, the moral system, that you got. And, and then when I look at these damn Uncle Tim Scott ass scratchers, I ain't no African boss, I's an American. Yeah, so look at the Americans that they lynched. Look at the American Little Ruby Ridges. You see what I'm saying? Look at the Americans, like what they did to the Black Panther Party, Nation of Islam. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, the original Americans were dark-skinned people.
Okay, well, see, I don't deny that, Brother Chase, because like I said, when I do more and more in-depth research, we have circumnavigated the globe, and that's probably why a lot of the technology, and technology is nothing more than the science of production, is that like the almanac and stuff like that. We probably had those knowledges when they brought us here, you see, and then of course, the slave master, he owned all the intellectual property as well too.
So if you already have black people here that already had that technology, and then you bring people from Africa that already had that technology, and then they amalgamate it, then you're going to have all kinds of innovations. You're going to have all kinds of inventions. But once again, the black indigenous people that were already here were reclassified as black, Negro, and colored. And then the Africans over here were also classified as such. And they did not have access to their property rights. Because they created a patent office where they stole all of our...
Yeah, exactly. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's exactly what I'm talking about, you know. And then, and in my youth, you know what I'm saying, when I was heavier and in much better shape, you know, these hands had bounced off a bunch of ignorant ass domes, you know what I'm saying, about that. Now, see, the thing is that for your generation, Brother Chet, is that particularly your generation has been dummied down. Not saying you're dumb, because you're far from dumb, but they did this through the educational system. You see what I'm saying? You know, and then, oh, and by the way, and I want to say this right here, Denzel Washington, one of my favorite actors. Okay, I'm disappointed in Denzel, and I loved his portrayal of Malcolm X, but you know, they got him playing Hannibal, and I thought Hollywood was making a film on Hannibal itself, but they bringing him in as Hannibal and called Gladiator 2.
He's playing another Roman.
Okay, well, anyway, fuck the Roman Empire, okay? I don't give a fuck about no Roman Empire. I don't give a fuck about no Greeks. You see what I'm saying? I'm only concerned about us.
Some of them people were dark-skinned people, Shabaka.
Well, see, but what it is, though, Brother Che, is that when General Hannibal was over there on Carthage, which is New Africa, and he says, hey, we got invaders. And we could smell these stinking motherfuckers like about 18 miles away, because they did not believe in washing their stinky, nasty asses.
Yeah, the Roman Catholic Church made it a sin to bathe.
Wow.
To get naked and clean yourself. It was a sin.
So it was a sin to wash your nasty, stinking, funky ass.
Yes, under Emperor Constantine. And remember,
well, boy, man, I can just imagine how stinky they was.
Yeah,
good
they were.
God Almighty, Lord,
civilized them savages.
Yeah, and so, and as we all do know, is that General Hannibal had Carthage, and he told his generals that we're getting ready to go put some work in, so get the captains, lieutenants, the privates, get these dudes in shape, feed them good, you know what I'm saying? Let them get with their wives for a few days, you know what I mean? Because we're getting ready to go put some work in, and we're going to be gone for a minute. So what the good general did, he's looking at the maps, okay? And he says, okay, we're going to take these elephants, and we're going to take them through the Swiss Alps, which is all snow, like the Colorado Rockies. Brother Che, y'all got hit with some snow up there, man. And I ain't never come to Denver, man, in March no more.
Shabaka, you were warned. Shabaka acted surprised, like he wasn't warned. He was warned before he came that it was going to snow in March.
Boy, and got snowed in, boy. Yeah, I was real cool. Get it? So anyway, so you know, his colonels and captains or general, we came make this trip. He says, hey man, get on a fucking elephant and watch. And he went there and he smashed Octavius Caesar. It wasn't Julius Caesar, it was Octavius Caesar. So therefore, this movie Gladiator coming out with Denzel Washington being Hannibal, I doubt it very, very seriously that they will show that is because Hollywood, you know, forms public opinion. You see what I mean? So this is why I say fuck Hollywood and the whole damn city of Los Angeles. You see what I mean? For perpetuating that bullshit. You see what I mean? You know? And then they want us to hate our own. But then, as you have pointed out, Brother Che, just to paraphrase you, through colonialism and neo-colonialism, and the biggest threat is the neo-colonialism, because as you pointed out, Brother Che, you know, you got all these damn tethers. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Who go through this indoctrination process when they come to the United States. The U.S. State Department tells them that you cannot have any type of cultural exchange or
with
sociological
those foundational
exchange.
Black Americans.
Okay, with Africans here in America. You see what I'm saying?
Black Americans, not just Africans.
Okay, now, okay,
these are Africans that are coming over here.
Okay, I understand that, Brother Che, but get with Chairman Sekou, and he can correct me if I'm wrong because he's my elder. But we used to define ourselves as Africans here in America during the Black empowerment.
Out of Chairman Sekou's own mouth, he told me that we went from being native to being Black to being African. That we literally spent years convincing us that we were Africans, but we're not generic Africans. And when you say that we Africans, they say it like we can just go back to Africa tomorrow and we'll have dual citizenship in any of them nations, in any of them countries. Those countries and them nations didn't exist 500 years ago.
Okay, but that's just it though, Brother Che. When Jerry Rawlings was doing the Clinton regime, and there's a bunch of bullshit that you got to go through, because even Free Peace said that, and I had to check him out, which he was right, is when they was trying to say dual citizenship for our people from Ghana and the U.S., but really it was a snow job, because just like that broad that you had showed with her tether ass, I'm here to take. I ain't coming to deal with y'all. Take. Yeah, and that is that Eurocentric mindset, okay? Just like Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, who had put up there on the Twitter page, and then some clown was calling her the B word, calling her this, calling her that.
She said she came here to do for Somalis, and it's like, well, if you want to do for Somalis, then why aren't you in Somalia doing for the Somalis? That's where it came. That's where all these people, all these other groups come over here talking about they want to do for their people, but if we do it, it's somehow racist, somehow prejudiced.
Well, see, that's the chain on the brain, Brother Che. You see what I'm saying? Is because you see, they always want the Negro, like when you saw that movie, A Soldier Story, which was a classic case of self-hatred. I don't know what was worse, that or imitation of life. You know, that damn sergeant got drunk when the white boys killed him. And no, it wasn't a white boy that killed him. It was Denzel, because I think that was Denzel's first supporting role, you see. But they did not want to show of how the Ku Klux Klan would lynch and murder Black soldiers during World War II. You see what I mean?
The Devil's Punch Boy.
Oh yeah, all that, man. Also, too, them dudes who fought in World War I, what do they call them? The Harlem Hellfighters, I believe.
Yeah, they came back and got burnt alive in their uniforms.
Yeah, and then Pershing, who's the commanding general in World War I, they called him Black Jack Pershing. You know why they called him Black Jack Pershing, don't you?
Because they consider him a sand nigga? I don't know.
No. The reason why they call him Black Jack Pershing is because he says, okay, this is World War I, and we need some fear. And then he says, okay, and I'm going to say this here, this is going to be my closing statement. And he says, is that give me some colored folks, some colored troops, and I will go up here and handle this business, which he did. And what was that song in the Soldier Story? Anything you don't want to do, the colored troops will do for you. You see what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you see, so they always see white America always come to us, okay? Well, you know, when they have a time of a national crisis. So white America will go to the group, the most downtrodden, the most hated group in America. Well, you know, we need your help. And then you get your Uncle Tim Scott's, Uncle Weemer, zippity-doo-dah, zippity-day, that type of bullshit, you know what I mean? And they'll step right up there, get killed and all that. Now, Brother Chan, I'm going to say this here, and this is going to be my final statement. You remember, man, when we was talking about the Uncle Tom sitting at the lunch counter begging a white man for a cup of coffee in Wilmington, North Carolina?
Yes.
Okay, there was a brother, my elder, and he definitely has to be in his 80s. Okay, he had said, I went and sat there at the lunch counter, begged for the cup of coffee. He says the food was lousy, the drink was lousy. So what is to say that the white folk who was preparing this food was not pissing and shitting in it, putting rat poison in it, dog shit, vomit, you know what I'm saying? And I'm saying this here to make your stomach turn, just to get you to something to think about. And he had said that was the worst meal that I ever had. And he says, man, I don't even know if I should eat this stuff. You know what I mean? You say, no, okay, but yet though, white America figures, well, we're supposed to be so forgiving, you know what I'm saying? And we're supposed to love everybody. Just like I looked at old Marsha Clark last night, and who was the brother's name who took over Johnny Cochran's law firm? Not Christopher Darden, he was with the DA's office. Carl Douglas. Okay, so they was talking about the O.J. Simpson case. You see what I'm saying? Which was a bunch of bullshit, you know what I'm saying? And the cold part about it is the man is dead. Y'all broke him. You see what I'm saying? But you're still going to run his name.
Give his clothes on.
Huh?
So, Blacc, we got to wrap this up because we're already 2 hours in and
Oh, okay.
overtime.
All right, so therefore, there's my closing statement to surmise it. You know what I mean? Check us out on Frontline Blacc News. I want to give a special shout out there to Brother Kahari on the great work that he did on the banners for Frontline Blacc News. You know what I'm saying? Excellent work. So hopefully, to be working with that brother more in the future. And then we got to revamp, revitalize. And then and like you told me, Brother Che, where I got to go get these materials, to save our episodes. So over the years, ladies and gentlemen, that we have done Shabaka'S Blacc experience, from day zero, where Brother Isaiah has been with us, and it's always a pleasure to hear from my East Coast correspondent, and also to appreciate Mad Dr. D for making it start to happen back in 2017. So therefore, we're reaching out to other platforms. We got to keep this knowledge dropping. But all I ask for is that let us quit the division within the Black community. You see what I mean? Because we are all we got. And what's happening is that these crackers is coming. Wait till after January. What date when the dumpster gets re-inaugurated? So by February, March, all of next summer, you know what I'm saying? We're going to be going down the tubes, people. But it's up to us to take care of us.
January 20th.
Okay, so that's when the dump takes over, right? Okay, so therefore, he's going to have a couple of house niggas up there, a couple of Yasa bosses, pay him no mind. It's because when you look at a Yasa boss, he's not so much to be hated, but he is to be pitied, because he doesn't want to embrace the rich heritage of which he comes from. And as Brother Che had stated, like with Benjamin Banneker, all the great Black inventors, they probably brought it from the ancient ones on the continent of Alkebulan, you know what I mean? And it was probably passed on down from generation to generation orally, to quote Sister Miriam Makeba. And then, of course, when the sisters put the braids in their hair and what have you, a lot of times the braids were road maps, to escape, the antebellum South, as Brother Che had put it. You see what I mean? And so, and keep in mind, when you're Pan-Africanist, Black nationalist, what have you, pro-Black or what have you, this isn't racism, this isn't hatred. We just refuse to sit up there and embrace another culture that hates us, despises us, and oppressed us, and then turn our back on our own. That's our biggest mistake. But however, it was designed that way. Okay, and that's my closing comment, and I yield.
All right, thank you, Shabaka. Sister Hesep, too, thank you for joining us. What is your closing statement?
Yeah, I have a closing statement. They have put the messenger Elijah Muhammad in jail, and a white guard told him that civilizing Black people is like putting elephants on like putting pants on an elephant. Excuse me. And Elijah Muhammad said, "Well, I already got one pants leg on." You know,
Right.
so I say that to say this. We can make it, brothers and sisters. We can do this. It'll just take a little bit more work and a little bit more time in unity and the expelling of envy and jealousy towards each other. Peace be unto you, my brothers.
All right. Thank you, Sister Hesefsu. Black
You're welcome.
I'm ready to say what your closing statement.
Okay, hold on. Phone said, yeah, hello? Hello? They can't hear me. Oh my God, dude. So every time you touch something, you just always let it up. Okay, Black Tie, thanks for coming. Thanks for listening to Shabaka'S Blacc Experience and Dance. Maybe Cherry, so they should, I would just like to say that this was an excellent discussion. I learned much. And we're going to go ahead and shut this off and see you later on, or Saturday, Shabaka, for Frontline Black News. So see you guys later. Thank you, Sister Nancy, for participating and stay with us this long. And thank you, Shabaka. And yeah, that's all I got.
All right. Hang up, please. Okay, greetings. Thank you for tuning into this season 9, episode 45 of Shabaka'S Blacc Experience Enhanced. Grand Rising with Shabaka and the Chase, Black Friday edition. Definitely gave an in-depth history of Black Friday. It is not about what they try to make it about, but it has to do with the auction block and black women, black girls, ages 13 to 16 being sold on the auction block. And then we also discussed the breeding farms that went on during antebellum slavery. So we appreciate everybody that called in. Sister Hesefsu, always welcome. We appreciate you, Lady Che. Always appreciate you. And of course, Shabaka for joining us as well. Sorry, y'all, this damn laptop fan is making that rowdy noise. So join us tomorrow for Frontline Black News at our regular scheduled time of 10 p.m. Mountain Standard. In the meantime, make sure y'all like and subscribe to all of our platforms, Frontline Black News on YouTube and Facebook, The Revolutionary Agenda on YouTube and Facebook, and Shabaka'S Blacc Experience Enhanced on Facebook and Twitter, now X.com. So peace, love, light, reparations, and separations, and black empowerment. Chain Crewman, signing out from the Mile High Income and Illegal Migrant Flooded City, soon to be deported city, in a sundown town known as Aurora, Colorado. And I believe Shabaka wants to go out with Ship Ahoy, so we're going to go out with Ship Ahoy. So appreciate everybody tapped in on the Streamyard as well. Twin, Pyramid, Mac 285, and anybody else that was peeking and not speaking. So y'all tapping in, Twin, Mac 285. We'll see y'all tomorrow for Black News.